What's up, guys, and welcome to the episode one of the Drop Third Dudes podcast slash YouTube channel. I'm excited to get this started. This is something I've been kind of wanting to do for a while. It's awesome to talk about baseball. Everyone here loves baseball, so should be a fun time. I'm Adam. We also have Gabe, Daniel, and Luca here as well. There's some other members that couldn't make it, but we'll meet them eventually. Anyway, for this first episode, we plan on doing some like way too early standing predictions, or at least division winners, and then some playoff seedings, and then potentially World Series matchups as well at the end. So let's go ahead and just kick it off. Anyone have a certain division they want to start off at, or anyone want to start with
I think we should start in like the NL East or the AL East because I feel like those are the two hardest divisions and we'll probably have the most to talk about. At least for me, those are the two most difficult.
I agree. Fully agree. Let's do NL East.
All right.
Okay.
Start it.
All right. Off rip. This is the Mets year. And spoiler alert for my World Series pick. But I believe in the Mets. And that's partly because I just don't want to believe in the Dodgers. But I've loved the Mets offseason. Addition-wise, I appreciate the aggression, especially trade as a form of player acquisition and what they're doing. I've appreciated Dave Stern. So I'm loving the roster construction. I'm liking what they got, obviously, prospect-wise and reinforcements, pitching in particular, to fill them throughout the year. And I think they'll be fine pitching-wise. I'm expecting a bounce back from Sean Manaea. And then obviously at the top, you've got, Nolan McLean, my rookie of the year pick personally, but Mets fan here, and we'll get obviously into below that. But I just do not believe in the Phillies this year. I feel like that might be some people's pick. We could debate that, but I think their luck has run out. We've been saying it's the Phillies' year every year for the last 5 years. It was not their year, except for obviously they went to the World Series a few years ago, but they didn't even win it. So I think Phillies aren't going to have as good of a year here. I think that's the best we're going to see from Schwarber. I think most people are on the decline. So I think it's the Mets year on top.
I, as a Dodgers fan, actually agree with you too. Not about the World Series prediction, maybe, but I do think the Mets are going to take over the East this year. I think the Phillies, their rotation is a little weak and their lineup is just getting old. It's good players, but they're all getting worse every year.
Yep.
And the Mets have made some great pickups. Their lineup looks really good. I think Luis Robert could have a great year too. Now that he's on a competitive team. And like you said, I think their rotation is going to be one of the best in the National League and really hard to compete with.
I agree, and that's so funny because I actually kind of thought I was going to be maybe the only one with the Mets that high. I actually kind of felt at the beginning like all their moves were pretty lateral, like Semien for Nimmo, you're trading bat for glove. And then I was a little worried about what they were going to do with the rotation. And then, Jorge Polanco filling in at a position he's never played for Pete Alonso, that felt like a downgrade. But after the Freddie Peralta and Luis Robert trade, like I'm very into it. And I actually think their bullpen, like it's probably not going to be as good as last year, not at least without Edwin Diaz and maybe Tyler Rogers, but I think Luke Weaver and Devin Williams as bounce back picks that could work, So I also agree about the Phillies. I had them actually finishing third. I kind of wanted to talk about the Braves a little bit.
Yes,
I feel like
do it.
I feel like the Braves have the highest ceiling in this division. Like it really would not shock me if they finished with like 95 wins or more. But I do feel like that's a little reliant on a lot of things going right. Like you're going to need bounce backs from a lot of guys like Michael Harris, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, and then the rotation too. Like Strider really hasn't been good for a couple of years. You're banking on Chris Sale being healthy, and they're going to get Ronaldo Lopez back. And I looked, and I didn't realize how good he was 2 years ago. He had a 1.99 ERA. So I think if a lot goes right, the Braves could be really good. But I think the Mets have a higher floor, and I trust that a little bit more going into the season.
Yeah, I mean the Mets. I have the Mets making the playoffs, but I have the Phillies winning the division. I think they still have that core: Schwarber, Turner, Harper, kind of people throughout the lineup that can get on base with Stott, Bohm, Marsh. They're able to like consistently get people on base for that top of the lineup. Also, they have Wheeler, Sanchez at the front of the rotation. Definitely kind of drops off after that. Nola was horrible last year. I don't think he's going to be that bad again. Like It's not going to be a 6 ERA. He also was like hurt for a little bit. I think it will be in the 4s. He won't be in the 3s as he was before, but I think Andrew Painter. Sorry, you can go.
No, I was just going to ask about Wheeler. I have no idea when he's coming back.
Me too.
I should have looked it up, but he'll be there for the playoffs at least. That's the most important part.
Sure.
Wheeler. But yeah, Andrew Painter, I'm really excited for. He's always hurt, but he can be disgusting when he's not. Like good frame, 4-pitch mix. I think he can be a stud. They got Luzardo there too. He can do something sometimes, especially at the first half of the year, I guess. But I really like their bullpen. That like 7, 8, 9 of Kerkering, Alvarado, and Duran is like nasty.
Brad Keller.
Yeah, sure. But I really like that they're able to kind of like play matchups with Alvarado too. They can kind of switch up Alvarado and Kerkering depending on lefties, righties, who's in the lineup coming up. And then the last thing with them is that they know like this is probably one of the last years with this core in terms of them being actually good. So I feel like they will make that push if need be at the playoff or at the trade deadline. Like they would be willing to trade away Justin Crawford. They would be willing to trade away whoever I don't even know who else they have right now. But they'll like want to make that push to try to get a better outfielder instead of Castellanos or something, because that's going to be bad. You can't have Castellanos in right field if you want to win the World Series.
Well, I do think Adolis Garcia is an upgrade. Like he's just better defensively, and
in my mock lineup, I had them both there because I was still missing somebody. I don't know.
Wheeler should be back too. They say April's pretty helpful, but by May or June for sure. So they'll have him for the bulk of the year.
That's definitely helpful. I think another like underrated player that I think would be a great fit there, and they haven't been connected is Eugenio Suarez. Like they were in on Bichette, they were kind of in on Bregman. Why not on Suarez? They could use another power bat there. Just trade Bohm. Like I don't think it would be on the trade partner for him. He's owed like what, $10 million. Someone will take a chance on that
for sure.
Yeah, then you make contact. You can do some things at least.
I mean, the defense isn't great, but neither is Bohm's. It's kind of like it's not like a downgrade necessarily. You're just going to get so much more production at the plate.
I like
the Braves will be good, but I think they have a 3-headed monster. Like I still think Strider can be that guy. With Schwellenbach, Sale, and Strider, I'm like
Waldrop wasn't bad either.
And Waldrop was pretty good at the end of the year. But I'll say this is my last year buying in on the Braves if they don't at least make the playoffs. We've said this at least the last 2 years. Like, the Braves got unlucky this year. Oh, the Braves got unlucky. Did they get unlucky?
Yeah.
Or maybe
they were lucky before.
Really early on are not as good as we think. A Michael Harris. People halfway through the past year were like, maybe he kind of sucks. I don't think it's that extreme, but the tide is turning on Ozzy Albies. There's some Austin Riley doubters. Like, I still think Matt Olson's great, but like all these guys were just holding all-star acclaim. It's like, well, is that the case? And I think this will be the year. I can't think they can cry wolf on injuries again. I get it's unfortunate, but still, like,
they have a glaring hole at shortstop too. Like they got Ha-Seong Kim, and then he got hurt, so it's going to be Nacho Alvarez there again.
They really need to maximize like having these star players on these cheap contracts that they signed before arbitration, like that deal for Acuna and for Albies. Like, I feel like that needs to be maximized on.
Harris too had a big one.
So, yeah, definitely. Can I just one team I want to talk about in this division that I'm high on is the Marlins.
Baby.
Would not shock me if the Marlins finish third in this division and we're fighting for a wild card spot. Like, despite trading away like Edward Cabrera and Ryan Weathers, I like this team. I think they have a good young offensive core, and maybe not this year, but by 2027, if there's a season, that's a discussion. I kind of like what Miami's cooking right now.
I agree.
Yeah, Casey
really quietly building up for the future, but also like very near future. Like like it's not like whoa, but it's like they won that. Like I think they won.
No, I'm excited for the Marlins. They're a cool team.
Sorry, Naturals. We'll talk about you.
James Wood, you'll get somebody soon.
So we have the three of us with the Mets and Adam with the Phillies.
The NL East so far.
It's all about the Mets.
AL East time.
Let's do it.
Let's start.
I have a hot take.
Let her rip.
This division was so hard. It's very obviously, I don't even know if we've seen it in this new playoff format where 4 teams make the playoffs from one division. And if 3 of these teams got the wild card spots, I really wouldn't be shocked.
Mhm.
But the team I have winning this division, I don't think any of you will. I really like what Boston has done this offseason. Like I think that rotation is legit. This division has a bunch of good rotations. Toronto, I think the Yankees when they're healthy, and Baltimore might be like a Framber Valdez away from being right there. But
Mhm.
like Garrett Crochet, Sonny Gray, my God, I'm blanking.
Suarez.
Thank you. Johan Oviedo, like that's an underrated arm. I think a lot of Pirates guys were high on him last year. And then like the depth they have in that starting
Mhm.
rotation, like the young depth, like Peyton Tolley and Connolly Early, like they could easily make a trade or just keep it as it is. Like I still think that lineup is good. Roman Anthony's going to eat.
Mhm.
I think Wilson Contreras is a great fit in that lineup, like a right-handed power bat. I think he's just going to pepper the Green Monsters. So watch out for Boston this year.
That is also who I chose.
No way.
Okay, I have Boston finishing 4th in the division.
Oh,
but
wow.
I have
In the
Boston
playoffs?
making the playoffs. So I have
Yeah. The same thing
4th
is
in the East making the playoffs. I actually have the Blue Jays at the top again. I think obviously they've got a really good team going right now, and I think they're going to be pretty like locked in mentally and cohesive after the World Series this past year. I would imagine they feel like it almost got stolen from them in a way.
Yeah.
They
It was rough.
had it. So I think they're going to be a really good team to watch out for. I have the Orioles finishing 3rd, but like I think like it could literally be like the Red Sox finish 5 games behind the Blue Jays and they're 4th in the division type thing. Like I think it's going to be that tight. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good division race all the way like through September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox shout. I was high on them last year. I have the Yankees winning. I'm not super passionate about any one team winning here. Obviously, we're talking about it. It's so much
Close.
possible turnover here. So much parity in the AL East, which is awesome. And honestly, could see it in every single permutation of one of these things. I have the Yankees winning it, but I've got the Red Sox second. But here's the thing about the Red Sox. I could see them winning it. I could also see them getting last. I could
Yeah,
see
it's dependent on the
I
game count.
like some of these names, but the Bregman loss to me was big.
Mhm.
And last year I was looking at this offense. I was like, oh, it's going to be really fun by next year. And that part of it, I was a huge Tristan Casas fan. Luca knows after I traded for him in fantasy, but he has not panned out the way I thought his career would go, at least for now. And so the offense, I love Roman Anthony. By the way, fun fact, played against Roman Anthony in Cooperstown at age 12,
Ooh.
hit 2 home runs off our team while I watched from the bench. But he's really good.
Yeah.
So I like the offense, but I could just see it sputtering and the rotation improvements are better, but outside of Chapman and a couple bullpen names, it's not like the best bullpen. I love some of these other, honestly, like what the Blue Jays have done with the bullpen. But and I'm more like hating on other teams than I am like promoting the Yankees. I don't even feel super passionate about that pick. It just is what it is. But the Blue Jays, I think, are a little overrated. I could see a fall from grace, losing the championship, losing the World Series type thing we see in every sport where you kind of fall off the next year. I think I want to do some sort of statistical study into how like playoff success in one year, whether it's on an individual player level or a team, elevates the social perception of a team or the social perception of a player. I think like an Ernie Clement, whatever. Everybody, if you just watch the World
Yeah.
Series, you probably think Ernie Clement is like baby Barry Bonds that dude was faking. Like I just think a lot of these guys got really hot. And obviously they were hot all year. Like the Blue Jays had one of the best offenses. I just don't see that happening again for George Springer. I'm sure he's better than he was a couple years ago, but I don't see that happening again. The one saving grace, I think, not the one saving grace, but one of the things I think Blue Jays have as a good argument is they did a much better job building the bullpen this year, and they acquired a bunch of guys at the trade deadline. But that was one of the things for the Blue Jays going into last season was like, all right, we like the offense, we like the rotation. Jeff Hoffman was your one signing. He wasn't even that good. So I think that is something that they do have. But, bullpens are variable. So I don't think that's something you can always bank on unless you're literally the Dodgers or the Padres with your super pins. So I got the Yankees 1, Red Sox 2. I still have the Blue Jays making the playoffs, but I could totally see Red Sox and Blue Jays falling, like just by the volatility of the teams. I got Rays 4th and Orioles 5th. But again, could see any flip there.
I I don't have the Orioles in the playoffs, but if they got like a Framber, I could definitely put them in the playoffs. I think they're just missing that pitching like staff. But they probably have the best lineup in that division. Like other than, I mean, Adley fell off, but you got Basayo, you got Pete Alonso, you got Jordan Westbrook, you got Holiday, you got Henderson, Kauser, two other outfielders I'm forgetting right now. Taylor Ward, I forgot they just got him. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like their lineup.
I feel like 1 through 9, they just can all hit, and that's kind of the most important part. And then you got Stars and Alonso and Henderson. But yeah, they're definitely like some pitching away. But yeah, the Red Sox kind of have the pitching. I was making their rotation, like what it might look like. So it's Crochet, Suarez, Sonny Gray. So I said third best pitcher in baseball, 2 sidekicks, like two really good sidekicks.
3-man rotation.
Yeah, which for the playoffs, that's kind of what you want. Just
right.
Boom.
And then in the playoffs too.
Yeah. And then they have Brayan Bello, Cutter Crawford, Peyton Tolley, Connerly Early, and Kyle Harrison that could all like step in. Like just so much depth. And then Chapman will hold it down. Yeah, the bullpen definitely could use some work. Other like Garrett Whitlock and Justin Slayton are your other 2 best guys.
Right.
But I trust their like player development team to really help these young players like just step up, because they are really relying on those players. They got Marcelo Meyer starting. They have Rafaela is going to be starting. He's just kind of a fielder, but Roman Anthony, even Christian Campbell whenever he comes back, if at all, I don't even know. But they got a lot of young guys, and I trust their development team to like really get the most out of these guys. Just talking about Roman Anthony again, because he is 292 BA with 140 OPS plus, and is like little short stint in the majors as a 20, what was he, 21? One of those 2.
21 now, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be a stud. But yeah, the Red Sox, I don't know, I'm just interested in them. It's kind of the same as Gabe. I'm not like super high on them, I would say. I think they have good parts, but I'm kind of just low on the other ones. I just don't see, like, the Yankees, did they like do anything to really get better this year?
Ryan Weathers. I like that.
Okay, so they didn't do anything. I'm just kidding. No, he has disgusting stuff. He was just hurt all year. But yeah, and they still have Ryan McMahon and Anthony Volpe starting in the left side of the infield. Like,
I feel like the Yankees are too reliant this year on like Dominguez improving, Austin Wells improving at the plate, Volpe improving at the plate. Like I just don't see it. I don't think
Grisham getting the same. Yeah, Grisham and Bellinger putting up the same stats.
Yeah, like Grisham's value was always defense, and then last year he was horrific in the field, and all his value was offense. So if his offense progresses, which it will, he's not going to be worth this year. So,
all right, give me the Red Sox. I'm taking it.
So, Gabe, I do want to ask,
please,
why Tampa over Baltimore?
Yeah, man. I think I saw Dean Kramer in that rotation. I was like, well, you're at the bottom. And it's not even because he's a bad 5-man, but like I just don't think the guys they have in the rotation are going to carry them throughout the year. They've had bad injury luck in the past, and obviously you can't just, colloquially or just throw out, injury risk, whatever. But I just see them being thin by the end of the year in terms of arms. And I like that offense, but bullpen-wise too, pretty brutal in the bullpen. Like, Bautista's out the whole year. So I don't know. It's just a bunch of guys. Even their rotation, like Zach Eflin is a name, but like he was not very good last year. I really want Trevor Rogers to be good. I just traded for him in fantasy, but we'll see what happens there. So I just really don't trust that rotation. And you're talking about these bats, which totally agree. Like Alonso is a huge get for them. I loved that move for them. But Taylor Ward had a good year last year, but he's up and down in some of his production. You talk about Basayo. I think he's a great prospect, but it's just hard in your rookie year. Like I think he's going to rake. I think he's a pretty safe bat. That's what he's there to do. But it's early. It's your first year. Like it doesn't always pan out exactly the way we think it does. It did not for Jackson Holiday. It is not for a lot of their prospects that we just lauded them for. And I love the Orioles for that. But a lot of those prospects have not immediately come up and hit. So I don't know. I just can see, I think Alonso is something that might really like hurt this take. Like I think he can be this true centerpiece of the team that just drives and runs, and there's enough get on base ability around him. But I don't know. I just think between the pitching and I could see the offense going not as like we said it's the best one in the division. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think what helps Visayo is it's what like if the lineup does play how I think they should play, they
Yeah,
kind of
protection.
have to pitch. Yeah, they have so much protection that like, and he can mash like. So I just feel like he'll put up some good stats this year.
Yeah.
sure.
Last thing I know we got to move on. Just don't sleep on the Rays. They got a good rotation,
Definitely.
and that lineup
Left.
is not as bad as you think. There's some of the guys at the bottom like, really, we're still doing that. You haven't had a catcher in
Taylor
30
Walls.
years. Feels like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Taylor
but,
Walls. We got rid of Josh Lowe.
Yeah, it's like they like backup catchers. Like they prefer it. I don't know, but whatever.
Hey, they offer
Don't sleep on the Rays.
like some money, right?
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
So we had 3 Red Sox and Blue Jays, right?
I had a Blue Jays, yeah.
Do we want to get the NL West out of the way? I kind of just I'm staring at it in my notes. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Just jump around. Let's
yeah.
knock it out.
Dodgers.
All right. I have the
She said-
Rockies. Oh,
Yeah, dude. Edward Julian puts them over the hump, man. But yeah, so I put this down, their rotation and lineup. So rotation, Otani, Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, Sheehan with River, Ryan, Roki, and Gavin Stone in the mix. 8 solid dudes with probably more guys in the minors. Bullpen was horrible last year. No way it will be as bad this year. And they added Edwin Diaz.
Yep.
And then their lineup, Otani, Betts, Freeman, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker, Hernandez, Muncy, Pajes, who had a 114 OPS plus last year and a down offensive year, and he's batting 8th in this lineup, and then Tommy Edman. Like, it's I just don't know what you can do.
So let's not even play the games. I'll see you at the CBA meetings in the winter.
Only
Daniel, yeah.
visible, I would say, is second base. But like second base is pretty much the weakness of every team. There's about
Yeah.
6
It's like 2 good ones,
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to Tel Marte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some about baseball though, especially in a long season. I feel like there's just a cap on how many games you can win.
Yeah.
This team should win 130 games. They're probably
I
gonna
think
win
people-
99 like they
Yeah.
won
Right.
93 last year. So
I'm taking the under on their win count. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would not bet against them to make the playoffs, even though
Minus 10,000.
$1.
I make some money if they don't.
I think people forget they played a wild card round last year. They did get a first round bye. Like it was just varsity versus JV.
Yeah.
Warm up series.
Yeah, that was a brutal watch. Anyways, second place. Who was winning second place? The more interesting conversation here.
I'll start. I actually had the Giants finishing second place. It's kind of more with the Padres than the Giants to me. I feel similarly with the Padres as the Phillies. I do like Tatis, Machado, and Merrill as a core more, but that rotation behind Pivetta and King kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm.
I know the bullpen is great, and I just don't think the offense behind those 3 is going to be enough to.
Do we know if
games?
Nathan Miller's converting yet?
No, he
not.
said he'll stay.
Okay.
As a closer. So I can go on Fangraphs here and look at the Padres lineup.
I think Joe Musgrove will be back too. So that helps their rotation.
That
Forgot he
definitely helps,
existed.
but
I know, right?
behind that, I can't get behind it like Randy Vasquez.
Matt Waldron. Oh, they got the knuckleballer. Nah, they're cooking.
Knuckleballer.
Okay, their lineup behind Tatis, Merrill, and Machado. It goes Ramon Laureano in left, Gavin Sheets, Xander Bogaerts, Jake Cronenworth, Freddie Fermin, and Sung Moon Song.
Yeah. Like
So
it's the same thing as last year. Same issue. Whereas like the bottom half of the lineup is like, what are we doing? And then magically Gavin Sheets had 1,000 OPS and Ramon Laureano was Barry Bonds. And it's like, what? But there's no way. I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I could talk about the Giants a little bit. I just feel like they had a little bit of a higher floor. I think the offense is a little more well-rounded. I thought the Bader signing was great. Don't think he's going to hit like he did last year, but defensively he'll provide value. And there's even more value with Jung-Hoo Lee not playing center field anymore. So get a full season from Adames, like his second half.
Yeah.
I think Devers having a full year at first base and like without
and a full year in San Francisco.
So Just a
Fully
little bit
agree.
higher on them than the Padres.
Fully agree. And I just trust Buster. Like, I like the players, but I just trust him. Like, everything he's touched has worked so far, in my opinion. And even though it wasn't the perfect season, like, I appreciate him going for it. You talked about this with the Phillies, Adam. Like, they are going for it. And I think the Giants are going for it. And he has that mentality. And so I just trust whatever moves come from here. I'm
Yeah.
excited for, I don't think the manager doesn't add much win probability to a game, but I like Vitello, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. I have him second as well.
He's a cool guy.
I think it'll be an exciting team. I'm excited to see Eldridge play too. I have him as a prospect in fantasy, so but I mean, obviously, like not a high average guy, probably a lot of strikeouts, but I think he could drop in the next few years. You know, he could drop a 50+ home run year. So
Yep. Do you have him too as well, Daniel?
yeah,
Let's go.
I actually had the Padres, but it's like very close. I almost did like a games back thing in my standings rankings, just like, but yeah, I think that'll be close.
I will say I didn't have either of them making the playoffs, so the Dodgers is the only West.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Gabe.
Oh,
I do think the Giants would be like the first team out.
I can see that.
Unfortunately. Maybe 85 wins.
I have the Padres sneaking in as the 6th seed. Only because I had the Braves and not making the playoffs.
I mean, they're probably trading Ethan Salas this year if the past is anything to work off of. So they'll
And
get
they already have like the worst farm system.
Yeah, they don't care. They just want to have a beat talent.
Salas has had, we don't gotta spend too much more time on this, but Salas has had one of the weirdest like prospect life cycles so far, and he's still like in junior high. Like he's still, it's so weird. From being, I don't know how high he was, but it felt like he was like, people regarded him as a top 5 prospect. He probably wasn't that high. Now he's not even on the top 100, I think. It was crazy.
I think he was like, Baseball America had him like 90 or something. He just he's all the way down there. All right.
Anyway.
So all Dodgers there for that one. Should we just move over to the AL West now? Since we're in the
Let's
West
do it.
anyway. Who wants to start?
Go Mariners, baby. Mariners on top. I think this one is not particularly close either. I obviously love Mariners. But just rotation wise, it's incredible. So consistent across the board. And number one farm system. They've got irons in the fire if they need it. Most of them are somewhat young, so I don't necessarily see them making an impact this year, but just I don't think Raleigh is necessarily going to do the same thing again. It's hard to bet on that, but he's got Raleigh. He's established himself now, I think. Inarguable best catcher in the game. Defensive and offensive ability is awesome. You'll take Julio in center. They've got the core there. I think they know what they're doing. It's a well-run organization. So I just think they're set up roster-wise better than all the other teams.
Yeah. Like Cold Emerson should be up at some point this year. Lazaro Montes could be if he like really got his contact together. You said the rotation, but I also really like the back end of their bullpen. Kind of similar thing to the Phillies there. They got Matt Brash. They got Gabe Spire. Also, he's Kerrigan Carpenter's son, if you didn't know. They got Andres Munoz to close it out. Like it's just they'll be able to pitch themselves out of like almost every game. So if they could just get together a couple runs, they got guys that can make contact throughout the lineup, like Cole Young, Victor Robles, JP Crawford. Like at the end, I'm not like super high on them, but they can make contact. They can set up for Julio, Randy, and Cal Raleigh. So and Josh Naylor too.
Yeah.
Also, they don't have a third baseman. Eugenio, I can definitely see coming back.
He sucks there, but suck it up.
Better than Leo Rivas.
He'll hit on the ring.
I think Julio's ready to just like put it all together for a full year too. I think he's gonna have a monster year. He's 20, like he's 25, like he's still a young guy, and I think he's just gonna put it all together. Then, like you said, the rotation, like just those 5 guys, like Wu, Gilbert, Castillo, Kirby, and Miller, like
Probably legend
solid.
Brian Wu.
Yeah. Also, Wu making a Cy Young push this year. I'm calling it. Like it's gonna be like he might win it.
Love it.
But yeah, I'm very high on the Mariners, and the rest of that division right now is like not in the spot.
Okay, so I kind of disagree with that a little bit, and with what Gabe said about it not being particularly close. I actually like Houston this year. I think they're going to be better than last year. The rotation is not it's kind of stinky behind Kenny Brown, not gonna lie. And like
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust him but I actually think that offense might be kind of close to where Seattle's is at. Just all like I think it's a little bit deeper all around the board. And if they can get like 120 games from Jordan, like he only played
Yeah.
50 last year and they missed the playoffs by 1 game.
Yeah.
So Jordan, Carlos Correa was really good like in the second half with Houston. Jeremy Pena is legit. Like I think Brady's wasn't very healthy last year, and if Christian Walker can bounce back a little bit, I could see them making it kind of close. But I definitely have Seattle winning this division by probably 5 games or more.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. So we just got the Centrals left. Who wants to start where?
Let's go
you
AL
gotta-
first.
Yeah, first.
We'll save the NL for last.
Yeah. Save it.
Okay. Well, I'll start us off. The Tigers, this is their division to lose, basically. No one did anything really except for the Royals, who.
And the White Sox. Don't forget the White Sox.
Okay.
Yeah, please. White Sox are moving. White Sox are moving.
Royals, I might say their name again later. But the Tigers, they got School. Mize had his best year last year. Flaherty was good at the end of the year. He kind of was rocky at the start. Troy Melton was really surprising and like really kind of showed off, especially in the playoffs. Reese Olson is one of the most underrated players in baseball. He is a disgusting slider, and it's just like if he can stay healthy, that's his thing. The bullpen's not great. Kyle Finnegan and Will Vest are kind of holding it down. They got Kenley to like take up some innings, but pitching chaos will always reign in the AL Central. AJ Hinch just knows how to do it. And then the lineup is not too bad. I do have Kevin McGonigal as an opening day starter at shortstop. He needs to be. Trey Sweeney sucks. I do not want to see him play another game for the Tigers. Javi can be a utility center field shortstop guy. He was great at that role last year. No point changing that. McGonigal's the best like hitting prospect I've like seen. He just is elite at contact, power, and swing decisions. It's just usually they get 2 out of 3. He's all of them. I'm really excited for him. I think Max Clark will be called up after a few months and take over for Parker Meadows after Parker sucks again. And then but we got Carey, Riley, Torque in the middle of the lineup, 30 home run threats if Carey plays a decent bit. And it's also just the last year of Skubal and his contract. And so if they are kind of close, I feel like they are more willing to part with some of their prospects. Like Hao Yu Lee, I know had some talk last year. He's a second baseman that can only play second. I feel like Colt Keith will move to second whenever Glaber leaves. And so I just don't really think he has a spot on the team. I could definitely see him being traded. And so Scott Harris, get it done. We should definitely win the division this year. There's no reason that anything like last year should happen again. Oh, also Dylan Dingler was fantastic last year.
He's real good.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in. I like your argument. It's very sound, but this is one of my favorite picks of all of them across the board. I love the Royals this year. I love the Royals. This rotation, they're not the poor man's. They're like the middle class Mariners is what I'm going to call them. They're very similar. That rotation is awesome. I'm just going to read them. Reagan's is having a bounce back. Too good of stuff. He's too good. The run prevention was incredible. I think he'll be better. Waka still deals. Love Bubic. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't understand the trade talks there and potentially putting him back to the bullpen. I like Bubic stuff wise. Big fan. Lugo's still been good, even though he's 36, still dominated. And I really like what I saw from Noah Cameron. So I think they're the baby Mariners, and that's enough to win a baby division like the AL Central. The lineup, they have very similar construction too, an MVP level player in the middle with some good surrounding pieces at the top. And then once it gets to the bottom, you're like, meh, but they're young enough and interesting enough. I like the Isaac Collins trade. I don't know why Milwaukee just gave him so quickly. That was a very strange trade. So I thought that was a great pickup to lengthen the outfield. That's just what the Royals have been needing for a while. And I'm a huge fan of Carter Jensen. I love to see some thump there. Hopefully,
get Salvi out of there.
Get Salvi. Salvi's got to start to leave, but he's still got some juice left to be squeezed. I think he's got production to help this team, and I think Caglianone's going to bounce back. That was pretty rough showing. It's early. That's kind of what you get with the power bats. You're saying the same thing with Eldridge. All the big, tall guys get kind of blown up really early on before they find their groove. So
Yeah.
he put up great numbers. I think he'll find it eventually. So I just really like this Royals roster construction, and where I think their future is bright. I will say real quick on the Tigers point, the trading side and the prospect, I don't see them trading people, like the mentality of like, oh, just go for it because last year. I think they like how they're set up. I think the next couple of years, Tigers are going to be awesome. I love the like top 5 prospects. They're going to be great. Like I'm pumped for Tiger baseball. I just don't think this is the year.
Yeah, there's just a few guys that we have that just don't have any spot on the team. Like there's no point in keeping them at all,
Yeah.
and unless you think that them on the bench playing once every 3 games is more like valuable than getting a like good bullpen arm at the deadline.
Yeah.
I feel like you just have to at that point.
Well, I mean, depends on when Joe comes back, but that could
And Joe, forgot
be
about Joe.
your deadline acquisition essentially.
Yeah.
is throwing
Yeah,
Joe
right.
at the end of the rotation or in the bullpen. Yeah, I had
Right.
the Tigers winning it too. I think the Royals are great. Had them 2 game, but I think I just like the Tigers all around better. I think Scooble's going to win his 3rd Cy Young, and I think Riley Green has 40 home run power in him. Kind of gets screwed in that
strike out.
ballpark a little bit, but I mean, if he cuts the strikeout rate down by just a few percentage points, I think that slugging percentage is gonna go way up.
Yeah, Tigers and Royals were the only 2 teams I really looked at when I looked at the AL Central. I think the Tigers have it this year. I think they're in a better spot right now. I think the Royals are set up like to be good like very soon. And I think, in the next 5 years, these 2 teams are going to be flipping back and forth who's winning the division. But yeah, I just like the Tigers right now. I really like Riley Green too. I think he's going to have a monster year in the same way like Julio Rodriguez. Like Riley Green's also only 25. Every year he's getting better. So I think he's going to have a really big offensive year. And I think the Tigers are going to win this probably, I'll say 4 games. That's my exact prediction.
I will say I do think Bobby Witt's going to be like the guy that's fighting with Judge for MVP this year. It feels like there's always one guy. It's 1-2 with Judge, and Judge ekes him out. I think it's going to be Bobby again this year.
I wrote it down that he is the most talented position player in baseball. Like he just, in terms of all all facets of the game, he can do everything at an elite level, like elite level.
He's my number 1 pick if you're doing like an MLB fantasy draft and you have that first pick. It's Bobby Witt. Also, I'm sick of the Guardians. I hate the way they operate. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them anywhere near the postseason. Sorry, Guardians fans. If there is somehow possibly even any watching this, I'm so sick of the Guardians.
I have to watch Bray on Rocchio hit one more foul ball or like home run off the foul pole. I'm gonna lose it.
That lineup is brutal. Bottom half.
So bad, and they always win.
You're like, all right, how about the pitching staff? And you look at that, you're like, golly, dude. Not good. Like, how do they win? It's just guard ball.
I do think Gavin Williams and Tanner
I think
it's like a solid one too.
I'm a big Bobby fan. Yeah, no, I agree. I shouldn't be talking that.
And they always find a way to just get value out of random guys, but I just don't
Logan Allen.
The Tigers and Royals are there. Twins should rebuild. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I do. I applaud the White Sox for trying for once. Like
still gonna get last, but
Twins. Another rotation.
The Twins are gonna hold off enough at the start of the year with Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez and Buxton, and then they really should blow it up. But who knows?
Yeah. Last one. NL Central. I want to go last for this one.
Okay. Anybody got a hot take?
Cubs.
I want to go last. Yeah, Luca, go ahead. The Cubs.
I'll say, go. Let your Cubs rip.
Yeah, I think this is the Cubs' year. I think they're better built this year to win the division.
Without Kyle Tucker, yeah.
Yes, I do. I think the starting rotation is a lot deeper. I mean, they were starting Drew Pomeranz in Game 5 of the division series. That's not going to happen again. I just wrote down the rotation in no particular order. You've got Edward Cabrera. That's like an upside trade right there. I think the Cubs have very good pitching dev. So I like that right there. He has nasty stuff. Okay, Matthew Boyd, Shota Imanaga, Jameson Tyone, Cade Horton, Colin Ray, and Justin Steele's coming back. So you're not going to see any any openers in the postseason, right? That's not going to be happening. Bregman's not going to make up for all of Tucker's offensive production, but Tucker was not great in the second half, and
Yeah.
I think they were happy to give Bregman that money just due to like the superlatives and the off the field stuff. I think he's a good leader, despite what you might think about his history with the Astros. It's kind of raved about, and then it's just a deep lineup with a lot of power with say Suzuki, Michael Busch, PCA hit 30 last year, might not hit 30 again, but you would expect at least 20 plus, right? Swanson has kind of quietly had like 20 homers every year, except for maybe one with the Cubs. So it's just, and then Nico Horner's probably, I don't want to say he's the most underrated second baseman because I think he's kind of finally getting the recognition he deserves this offseason. But he, honestly, you can make the argument that he was the Cubs' best player last year. So I like it. I like it a lot. Obviously, the Brewers worry me. Like this, just their ability to squeeze value out of these guys. And you're like, every year we're like, wow, they just traded their best player. Okay, they're going to win 90, 95 games this year. I have a hard time seeing it. The rotation is still good, but the offense is relatively deep, and I think Chorio is going to be great this year. But Yelich is getting older. You still kind of have to worry about durability with him.
Yeah.
I mean, William Contreras is excellent. Bryce Strang is excellent. But outside of that, I feel like the Cubs are a little bit better built. I think they have a bit of a higher floor right now. So that's kind of why.
Yeah, I think Brewers might have a higher ceiling for this year, but I agree the Cubs are a lot safer pick. Like the Brewers, like their lineup, you look at guys, if you know, 3 or 4 guys have good years that they've had before, then you know they could really like put a good season together, and even in the rotation with Woodruff and Mizorowski if he's good. But the Cubs just have a lot deeper lineup, a lot of guys that just are more consistent and have proven that. And I think they're going to win this division. I think the Brewers make the playoffs though.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not super passionate like Brewers over Cubs. To me, Brewers is I've got the Brewers winning is just it's sort of like innocent until proven guilty. I trust you until you prove me that I shouldn't trust you anymore. Like I'm doubting the roster construction and seeing guys at the bottom half of the lineup that I'm like, ah, really? And then they end up being fine and enough production and the pitching is always going to pitch and it always seems to bring up the next minor leaguer who's got a crazy IVB fastball and just makes guys miss. So I'm just riding with the Brewers until proven otherwise. I got Cubs too. My one only passionate thing, like not super passionate between those two, I could see the Cubs winning it and I'd be happy for them. But I have the Pirates not getting last. I have
the Cardinals
last.
100%.
Cardinals are last. Pirates, they do something. Their offense is not uninspiring this year.
Brandon Lau.
Like they just tried a little bit more this offseason.
They need more
I'm excited for Bubba Chandler. He's doing it's tough with young pitchers. It's hard to predict exactly, but I'm just excited. It's something. I think the Pirates have done a good job of pitching. So I think Pirates are not getting last. That's my one positive or true takeaway.
I think Pirates, I don't have this in there, but I think Pirates could sneakily somehow, some way, get into a wild card spot. So
Whoa.
It's possible. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it's possible.
Non-0% chance. And Vegas agrees with you. It's like plus 5,000.
All right. So if I were to tell you that a team has a rotation, their first 4 guys, xERA, all 70th percentile or above, a former 7th overall pick as their 5th starter, a closer, 91st percentile xERA, 99th percentile x batting average, and then a lineup full of really young guys that kind of had a down year last year. I don't know. That sounds like to me that they could be on the up and up. I have the Cincinnati Reds winning the division. I love that rotation. Hunter Green, Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo, Chase Burns, and then Rhett Lauder. That just does things to me. And yeah. And in that ballpark too, all of their offense had a down year last year, basically, except for Noelvi Marte and Sal Stewart, who had 58 plate appearances. Everyone else was bad, and then there's Brian Hayes, who just always is bad. But that's such a hitter-friendly ballpark that I just don't see that happening again. And they're all so young that I could definitely see them just improving to a point that this team could end up winning. And I don't think that the Cubs or Brewers are necessarily so good to the point where there's no way that the Reds just pass them for a year. That's just my one like hot take for a division winner.
I like that. I also have the Reds finishing above the Pirates.
Hot take.
Um, but yeah, they have a really good team. When I was looking through this division, I think I switched it around like multiple times, and I was like, do the Reds get second here? Or do the Cubs get third? And then have the Cubs winning the division. So I think it'll also be a really exciting division race.
Love it.
Ooh, all right.
Should we? I wrote my seedings out.
Yeah, I did
Should
too.
we go over those real quick?
Let's do it.
Yep. So first, should we start NL?
Yeah.
For it.
All right. First seed, I have the Dodgers.
What?
Pretty clear. What? And then I have Phillies as my 2, Reds as my 3, Brewers as the 4. So first wild card there. They're the best talent developers in baseball. They're just gonna win games. The Mets is 5. There's too many like studs on that team to not make the playoffs. Although we said that last year and they didn't make the playoffs. But Freddie Peralta, Nolan McLean, I'm really excited for. Jonah Tong, I'm really excited for too to join that rotation. And the bullpen, I think, is good enough to help them win games. And then I have the Braves as my 6 seed. Again, I said a 3-headed monster. Their starting rotation. Robert Suarez as the closer now. I feel like it's really going to help shore up the pen. And then just, their lineup is, as of 2 years ago, was really good. Again, bad luck, we'll say. But we'll see how that goes.
All right. I have Dodgers as the 1st seed, Mets at 2, Cubs at 3. And then the first wild card, I have the Phillies. Second wild card, and the 5th seed, I have the Brewers. And then at 6, I have the Padres barely sneaking in. And the more we've talked, I'm like I was deciding between the Braves, the Reds, and Padres pretty much. I picked the Padres, but I think I like my division winners. I think it's gonna be, but I don't. Yeah, like my 6th wild card team. My 6th wild card team. Padres.
Yeah, that's fair. I got Dodgers 1, Mets 2, Brewers 3, and then we're going Braves 4, Cubs 5, Phillies 6.
Very nice. I went Dodgers 1, Cubs 2, Mets 3, and then I went Brewers 4, Braves 5, Phillies 6. I think the Phillies get in with like the hair on their balls. Like I really don't. I'm not high on this team whatsoever, but I think they have enough to just sneak in.
Yeah. And then so we pretty much had like the same teams for the most part. I had the Reds, which I don't think anyone had, and then Padres. But yeah, pretty much the same team. So it doesn't look like theoretically shouldn't be too much parity going on there, but we'll see.
I'll tell you the
Again, this is way too early. So
I'm holding a lot in on you for not putting the Cubs in the playoffs, but I'm gonna keep it in.
This is episode 1. You gotta keep it in.
Yeah.
We do need a viral clip, right? Maybe I could just
for drama's sake, we need you to like just erupt at one point.
I just might take the Tigers out of mine. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, sounds good.
No, all right, I guess I'll start with the American League. So I went Mariners 1, Red Sox 2, Tigers 3, and then I still think the Blue Jays make it, although I agree, I think they're going to regress a little bit at the 4, Yankees 5, and then I think I'll probably be the only one who has the Astros in the playoffs. I had them sneaking in at 6.
I have the same thing except for Royals 6 instead of Astros.
I had Mariners 1, Blue Jays 2, Tigers 3, and then Yankees 4, Orioles 5, Red Sox 6. Got my 4 AL East teams.
Like it. I've since switched on the Red Sox, but we're going Mariners 1, Red Sox 2, Royals 3, and then we got Yankees 4, Blue Jays 5, Tigers 6.
Scaring me.
But they're in there.
They're in there. That's all that matters.
Barely. Until Scooble gets traded in 24 hours.
Yeah. As soon as end clicks,
Check.
text again, guys. We gotta record.
Yeah. Well, MLB on Facts says Scooble's on the Dodgers, and that's usually my pick. So.
World Series matchup. Anyone specifically want to like have one they're adamant about?
Not going to be vanilla. Not going to pick the Dodgers. Just going to be fun. Let's go. Let's go Cubs, Mariners. Cubs in
I
7.
like that pick. I like that pick. Hey, it's 2016 and 2026. Bring back the Cubs, baby.
Yep.
I like it. I got Mariners in there as well, and I'm going with the Mets. I previewed it at the start. I just love what they got. Across the board, I believe in the guys they're taking chances on, the Lou Bob, stuff like that to pop, and I think they've got the rotation to do it. And the front line, at least 3 guys with plenty of depth to help push them over, and guys they can mix and match that are at the bottom of their rotation right now, but can fit into the bullpen later for a postseason push. So I just trust them, and it's really a gamble in the postseason, and I'm gambling against the Dodgers because it makes me feel better.
I will not pick the Dodgers to be fun. Okay. I'm going to go Blue Jays beat the Mariners in 7 games in the championship series and take on the Mets in the World Series. I got Blue Jays.
Nice. Blue Jays, Mets.
Could definitely see it.
I guess I'm boring. I think the Dodgers. Like I can't not pick the Dodgers here. I don't care. I don't care. That's way too
One
early.
person has to be correct on the Someone had to do it.
But I said that they're gonna play the Red Sox. I'm high on this Red Sox team, man. There's the talent developing team. Or like,
Yeah.
but they got that. They know how to do it, man. Kyle Brody,
Yep.
he can tell people how to pitch.
Greg Breslow.
Greg Breslow.
No, I thought Dodgers Red Sox last year was gonna be it. I was so passionate about that. I don't know.
If Roman Anthony was not hurt, they would have beat the
It could have been. Could have been.
Yeah. See that.
And who knows what would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, those are all of our division winners, all of our playoff seeding, all of our World Series matchups for before spring training. So again, a lot to change. Probably do another one after spring training, see how some guys play, see if there's any drastic rises or anything. But anything anybody else has to add before we hop out of here?
No, I base all my analysis on people's performance in spring training. So
Yes.
let's look after that.
And who has the most bet on their page.
Usually those two.
Yeah, like Ryan Weathers and Gavin Williams were the best pitchers last year, so that's all right. Thank you so much for listening and for listening this far into it. If you are, we hope to catch you again next week.